Good day, everyone. I would like to thank Dr. Jun for his kind introduction and also thank Ham Yong-ju, Chairman of Hana Financial Group, for supporting this marvelous event. In addition, I want to thank all of you for coming out to participate. I am a great admirer of Dr. Jun and the Institute for Global Economics. Now more than ever, the world needs organizations like IGE to provide detailed research, compelling insights, and a forum for discussion of our biggest global challenges. One of those challenges, of course, is man-made climate change. When I spoke to this conference a year ago, in person in Seoul, I was about to leave for COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt. Now I find myself preparing for COP28 in Dubai. Over the past 12 months, the world has made significant progress on expanding low-carbon technologies. Indeed, the International Energy Agency projects that global renewable energy capacity will set a new growth record this year. On the other hand, atmospheric carbon dioxide continues to set new records as well. And scientists believe annual CO2 emissions will reach another all-time high in 2023. Clearly, the world needs to do much more, much faster, if we hope to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. In my remarks today, I would like to explore two climate realities with a special importance in the Asia-Pacific region. First, whether we look at physical risk, greenhouse gas emissions, or net zero solutions, APAC is central to the global climate challenge. Second, to help this region decarbonize while adapting to a warmer planet, the finance and investment industries must dramatically increase access to climate-related data and tools, including data and tools for the voluntary carbon market. Let me start with climate risk. Many APAC countries, especially those in South and Southeast Asia, are uniquely vulnerable to the physical impacts of rising global temperatures. In fact, people in APAC are 6 times more likely to be affected by a natural disaster than people outside the region, according to the United Nations. In 2023 alone, we have seen record-breaking heat waves across the region, including the highest temperatures ever recorded in China, Vietnam, Thailand, and Laos. In Korea, heat-related deaths from mid-May through July more than tripled compared to the same period in 2022. The past 2 years have also witnessed record-breaking rainfall and flooding in Korea, Pakistan, and other APAC countries, along with record-breaking drought conditions in China. To put this elevated risk in perspective, consider the heat wave that swept through South Asia last April. Scientists with the World Weather Attribution Initiative calculate that the risk of such a heat wave in India and Bangladesh has increased by at least a factor of 30 compared with pre-industrial times. All of this underscores the physical and human consequences of climate change especially in APAC. The potential economic and financial consequences are staggering as well. For example, the Swiss Re Institute projects that a temperature rise of 2.6 degrees Celsius by 2050 could reduce Asia's total economic output by more than 20%, including a 29% loss in Southeast Asia. In this scenario, Southeast Asia would suffer more economic damage than any other region on Earth. If we look at Asia's largest economy, even with just a 2-degree rise, more than 1/4 of China would face medium to high or high risk from physical climate impacts, according to research from my own company, MSCI. Of course, China also accounts for a disproportionate share of global greenhouse gas emissions. For that matter, the APAC region as a whole accounts for 55% of global emissions. Simply put, we will never reach net zero emissions without faster progress in this region. At the same time, APAC can play an outsized role in developing net zero solutions. No fewer than 40 APAC governments, including Korea, have committed to achieve carbon neutrality by 2040, 2050, or 2060. To help get there, countries such as Korea, China, and Japan have become global leaders in low-carbon energy. Not only renewables, but also nuclear energy. As you know, Korea is now one of the 5 biggest nuclear power generating countries in the world, behind only the US, China, France, and Russia. The current government has pledged that nuclear will become Korea's single largest power source by 2036. Indeed, it hopes to increase nuclear to nearly 35% of power generation, up from 27% in 2021, while increasing the power share of renewables from less than 8% to almost 31%. Overseas, Korea is helping the United Arab Emirates build its first ever nuclear power plant as part of a $20 billion project. Once completed, the UAE nuclear plant will supply close to a quarter of the country's electricity. Energy is one of 3 pillars that underpin all large-scale climate solutions. The others are capital and technology. To maximize the role of capital in driving decarbonization, the finance and investment industries must radically expand access to climate-related data and tools. After all, limiting global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius or even 2 degrees Celsius will require a historic reallocation of capital and repricing of assets. How much? Well, to put the world on a 1.5 degree pathway, investments in energy transition technologies must increase to more than $5 trillion per year through 2050, up from $1.3 trillion in 2022, according to the International Renewable Energy Agency. McKinsey has also calculated that total climate-related investments could exceed $12 trillion per year by 2030. High-quality climate data and tools can help us measure the likely effectiveness of different investments. They can help us determine how individual companies align with different temperature pathways. They can help us set better baselines for emissions targets. They can help us develop more comprehensive transition plans. In short, they can promote clarity, action, and accountability. All of this can help accelerate global climate progress. In particular, it can strengthen the voluntary carbon market, which has a key role to play in the net zero journey and could grow to $40 billion a year by 2030, according to Boston Consulting Group. As you know well, markets thrive on reliable information, consistent standards, and robust transparency. Right now, the voluntary carbon market is lacking in each area. Many carbon credit buyers and potential buyers are frustrated with the lack of monitoring, reporting, and verification. People just cannot be sure that the credits they purchase represent genuine carbon reductions. This is where data-driven solutions come in. Integrating advanced data sets and analytics into climate investment tools can give companies and investors the confidence they need to navigate the voluntary carbon market. With that in mind, MSCI recently announced our acquisition of Trove Research, a world-renowned provider of intelligence on carbon credits. Critics often argue that if you let companies buy credits, they will not decarbonize. However, when Trove researchers surveyed the emissions of more than 4,000 companies around the world, they found that the ones who use carbon credits most aggressively are actually decarbonizing twice as fast as the ones who do not use credits. In other words, a well-functioning voluntary carbon market can help investors and companies reach their climate goals while also helping the world reach net zero emissions. As global leaders prepare for COP28 in Dubai, we must remember that collective problems demand collective solutions. Nobody should expect the national governments, multilateral organizations, banks, and investment firms, or corporations alone to find a silver bullet for climate change. The most meaningful climate initiatives all demand some type of cross-sector collaboration. IGE has done tremendous work to advance such collaboration, and MSCI is committed to doing the same. And with that, I would like to thank you again for having me and wish you good luck with the rest of the conference.